Hey everyone, today I want to talk about AI error analysis. How to verify if your AI features are working as required. So, to do this, we will combine three concepts. The first one is context engineering. That means giving your AI agent or AI capability enough context about your organization. Context engineering is includes taking the documents that your AI agent should look at, parsing them, chunking them, embedding them, and then retrieving them. I'm not going to go into these steps, but this is what we are going to do um, in preparation for error analysis. And the second concept that we are going to look at is grounding. That means we are going to add a document to a particular AI agent or AI feature and say, your answers must come from this document or primarily should come from this document. And grounding is the craft of connecting AI to real trusted domain specific information. If you're responding to an RFP or you're responding to a security questionnaire for your organization, you want your AI agent to look at a particular document and not go beyond that document. That is grounding. The third concept we'll look at is tracing, and that is the ability to look at what the LLM that is supporting your AI agent or AI feature is doing, how it thinks, what is it doing, what is the prompt, what was the response, did it behave according to your needs, was it grounded, was the retrieval correct, was the prompt correct, was the generation, that means the information that came back from the LLM, was that correct, without any hallucinations, were there any performance issues, cost wise or time wise, things like that. So I built an app to connect all these to use all these concepts and to make all these concepts real for us. So let's look at that app. So the on the left side we are seeing I vibe coded it because I don't know how to program. um, so what I did, the app is um, a security questions autoresponder. So if your sales team um, has to answer some questions about security or about your product, it could be an RFP questionnaire as well. So just for the sake of this particular thing, let's just say this is a security questionnaire. So what I did is I first gave it a set of standard questions and answers, and said that, okay, this is all the security questions and answers that you have access to. You should look at this and you should answer the questions. In normally what will happen is a salesperson will get a set of questions, RFP questions, from uh, a customer, and then they will upload that in document, PDF, or text format. So I provided context, and then I grounded the AI application or AI agent to this particular document. How did I do that? I did that by simply typing it here in the vibe coding app. If you're hand coding your app or if you're programming your app, your engineering colleagues will know how to do it. So first I said, okay, use this document and only look at this document when you answer the questions, number one. Number two, I also introduced the concept of um, retrieval augmented generation. So I said, take this document and chunk this into roughly 200 words per chunk, and then embed that into a vector database. What that means is, even if the exact keyword in the question is not there in the answer document or in the reference document, your LLM will know how to how to find the LLM will understand that this particular word most likely means this. That is what vector databases do. For example, if you go back to the this concept, the embedding, chunking and embedding them in a vector database turns each chunk into a vector, which is a semantic fingerprint of meaning. That means if a security question or an RFP question says, um, say, a disaster recovery, and the document has information about business continuation, so the LLM will understand that disaster recovery and business continuation are related concepts. That's what the chunking embedding accomplishes. That's the business value. So I did that. And how did I do that? I simply said, chunk this document into 200 word chunks, and embed them, and provide an overlap of about 50 words. How did I arrive at the 200 word chunk? I looked at the questions of the document and said, okay, every question roughly has an answer which is about 200 words or less. So I said 200 word chunks and some overlap. Um, in my experience, there is no hard science to it. You just have to look at the documents and make a decision, see how it works, and then adjust it. If the answers don't come up as you require them to, then you can adjust the chunk size and the overlap and see what works for you. Then um, then what I did was, I added then to now I wanted to do error analysis. I want to run this app and do error analysis. And to do that, I needed some application that does that, and I used LangChain. So I went to LangChain, created a free account, and then created a new project called Security QA Autoresponder, and created an API key. So if you click on, for example, if you create a new project, it'll say generate API key, and you can generate an API key. Your engineering colleagues will know how to do it. If you're vibe coding, you can do it yourself. And then you come back here to your application. Again, if you are vibe coding this application, you can say, this is my LangChain API key. Integrate with LangChain or Langsmith in this case. That's all you need to do, and then it'll take care of it. So it's once this is done, it's ready to go. So let's try this. So I'm a salesperson, or I'm someone in your team responding to RFPs, and I have a set of questions, and I have them in text format. So I will come here and say upload this document, and I there are 10 questions, and I upload the questions in um, in text format, and I say get responses. Um, it is important to remember that the AI agent that is doing getting the responses is not just doing a simple search and retrieving answers and then pasting it here. It is understanding the question, reading the grounding document, and then translating the document into appropriate answers in response to words in the question, and then formulating that answer without violating the content, without losing the substance in that document. So that is why AI is important here. So I said get responses. That's 10 questions, so it should take about a minute or so to do this. So the AI agent has generated answers for the 10 questions, in the 10 questions that I asked. So these are the answers it has formulated, and I had asked it to show the source information from where that it got the question. So it gave the source information as well. Now I can download these documents as a doc file. So while doing this, now let's do this again. Let's go back and do this again, so that we can see uh, the how the traces are generated on the how you can view traces in LangChain. So let me do this again. Um, Upload the document, security questions text, and then say get responses. And on the right side, you will notice that the while these answers are being generated with every API call, you'll see this information updated in LangChain. So while that is, you'll see it updated live. Meanwhile, we can look at specific information. Like for example, let's look at this. So for example, um, the input given is this question. This is the input, and this is the output generated. And the confidence level is high, confidence score, and the sources that it got this information from. All that information is listed here in the trace. So by looking at this, let's say I'm an expert in my company's products and the answers. I wrote the document. So for error analysis, I can quickly check these things and see if this information is correct. And if this information is not correct, I can go back and adjust my prompts or check if something, check why that information is not correct. Which source is it getting this information from, and so on. So, for example, it picked up this information from this particular snippet in the term and termination um, part of the document. So this is the snippet. This is the original document, snippet from the original document. So I can cross check to make sure that this is okay. Now this is something that the interesting thing is, this is something only someone with domain knowledge, someone with context, with an idea, who has the context about the company, about this particular capability can do. And most evaluation or error analysis experts would say that the product manager is the best person to do this, because the product manager understands the context. And the interesting thing is, this is something that uh, AI cannot do, because AI doesn't have the domain information or the context. So error analysis, and by extension evaluation of your AI capabilities, no matter what your AI capability is not something not is not as simple as buying a product and plugging it into your application, according to experts. And I'm starting to agree with them, because I'm starting to do this. uh, the most important thing that you can do when it comes to evaluating your AI application is this manual error analysis. And for every capability, if you analyze 100 instances of that capability, in this case, if I'm responding to this questionnaire or this set of questions, run it 100 times and see the responses, verify the responses. And if you do it once for your application, the quality of your application will go up significantly. Doing this in production will be a little bit more sophisticated than this. Your engineering colleagues will obviously know how to do it. Um, from my experience, I worked with a couple of engineering teams so far. Um, I've noticed that engineering teams are still not convinced that product managers can do this, and I'm yet to see any product manager in the application software companies that I worked in who actually do this. But I think that this will have to be done, and the teams that do this will succeed. If not, it'll be a pilot and never be a production application. That I think, in my opinion, um, error analysis and doing it this way is the difference between a successful pilot and a successful production application. I hope that helps.